Welcome back to Balancing Acts. I'm Roy, and today I have Jason Joseffer with me. He's an amazing cinematographer, a director, a dad, and we're going to be having amazing conversations here. And I'm going to have him introduce himself. Just give Jason, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks for having me here. I'm Jason, DP here in San Francisco. I think it's almost 20 years or just shy of that since we've known each other,
Yes.
like '06, '07, something like that. So it's
yes.
been a minute. Yeah. Good buddy. We came up together. I mean, our stories are very similar as far as like film goes.
Yes.
But yeah, here in the Bay, began production. I don't know. Where do you want me to start from?
Let's start from there's a journey of us meeting and starting to work together,
Mm-hmm.
but there's also a pre of I know part of the story from us just having conversations, but what inspired you to get into this industry?
Yeah, I guess I was like in high school. I grew up in San Francisco and I was in high school late 90s, early 2000, 2001, and cable access television was a huge thing in San Francisco, Channel 27. And me and a few friends, we all started our own cable access shows where we just did like goofy things like skits. We'd go like down to Union Square and like pretend to run into a sign and make a loud sound and be like, "Oh, it hurt my face," and like people would watch us, kind of like almost like Jackass kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So got super into it, and then just like triggered interest in film, and then went to UC Santa Cruz, and then was a film major there, and I learned a lot of film theory, not a lot of practice.
Okay.
Yeah, and then got out of school, and my first like technical job was working as a news cameraman for a Chinese news station.
Okay.
Yeah, KTSF 26.
Yes.
And I was like a field news operator, studio operator. And that's about when I met you. About shortly after that, we all bought our like first cameras, our HVX 200s.
Yes.
Had
that's
35
true.
millimeter lens adapters, which was this like mechanism you put on the front of a camera, it turned the image upside down.
Yes.
It spun a disc in a circle and it projected an image that gave you 35 millimeter depth of field. And we all got started in that sort of craze. And,
That was what company is that? It was micro
Red Rock.
Red Rock Micro, right?
I had
The
one
ones who
called
made that.
SG Pro.
Yeah.
I had the one from England.
Yeah.
And there was a PS Technic one and a Cine something.
Yeah.
One. Yeah.
That's amazing. And like I think part of it of like even just doing the broadcast and everything, one thing that was always amazing about you was the curiosity to explore, right? Like it was a camera, but you always broke it apart and figured out how do I tweak this to make, to personalize it or create something.
Yeah. Well, like part of that early fascination was just like the gear was so expensive back then. It was just like, oh God, like there weren't like gears for lenses or a matte box. I remember the first matte box I had, I went to Tap Plastics and like cut out pieces of plastic and like super glued it together. And I had like a wooden 15 millimeter rail mount. I don't know if do you remember this matte box? I still have it like on my shelf somewhere.
I remember it.
Yeah. But that was because matte boxes were like thousands of dollars. And like when I got my HVX 200, it was like a huge deal just to get that. I couldn't even get a tripod with it at the same time. So yeah, that sparked the curiosity to build things just because they weren't available. It's much easier now. Now there's all sorts of things.
Do you think that made you better at what you do in terms of understanding what the tool that you were getting and create, and helping kind of build it?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, okay, you run into a problem of, okay, I need a matte box. I can't afford this.
Mm-hmm.
But you already know what the use case of what a matte box can do.
Mm-hmm.
But you understand, you're like, I can make that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how I can be able to do it.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely like gives you an appreciation for what it does and learned about every nuance of what it's for. And then building it yourself, it's just like always like it's a piece of a puzzle that later you put together.
Yeah.
It's like
That's true.
Yeah, like oh, I figured out this, and then at one point I was like, oh, I need like a cool streak filter, but I don't want like just the one everyone else has got. I'm gonna make my own, and like I went to like the framing store and got 2 pieces of glass and had it cut to 4 by. They're like, you want it cut to what? Yeah, 4 by 5.65 inches. Like okay, they gave me 2, and then I saw a spider web and I just like caught it in between the spider web, and then that was my streak filter. And I was like very proud of that, you know.
Yeah.
But that all came because years earlier I built this map box, and then I was like holding fishing line in and trying to make a flare and stuff like that. Yeah.
I remember that, and I think there was a second version which was glass, right? Or
Uh,
was it Plexi the cutting and
the
doing
I
partings for music videos?
I had some plexi ones. Yeah, the glass one with the spider web was, yeah, that was all glass.
That was all
Yeah,
glass.
yeah, yeah. I still have it. First AC of mine labeled it cobweb, a cobweb one.
You
So
know,
it still comes out now and again.
you
Yeah,
still use it.
yeah,
And at that time was a lot of music videos.
yeah. There was a period of a lot of music videos. Yeah.
And what is let's stay on that. Let's stay on that conversation of the HVXs, right? Because during that time there was the 3D craze that came out,
Oh yes, it was
right?
early 3D
It was
excitement.
early
Yeah,
3D excitement and
I got
using.
I got wrapped up in that for sure.
Okay, so, let's explore that a little bit. Like, what was your perspective then of 3D?
Mm.
Because at that time you believed it was gonna be the future, right? Or what
I
is
mean,
your
I
thought
was
process?
I was just I was interested in it. I didn't think it was for everything.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to learn it. It was me, you, and Clay from the Bay.
Yep.
We all got very excited about it. I think we had, I don't know if you had a copy, me and Clay had copies of 3D movie making. And I was learning,
I think I still have mine
yeah,
somewhere in the
I think we
shelf
all got
there.
them. We
I
all got
think
them.
so.
Yeah. And just trying to learn that. And I was just starting to learn machining at the time. There was a rental house in San Francisco, and there was a machinist there. His name was Adolf.
Hmm.
And he taught me how to machine. And this was my early projects. I was like, I'm going to make a beam splitter rig with a long rectangle with 50-50 glass in the middle that allowed one camera to do this and the other to do this, so you could do the spacing
Yeah.
to get different 3D effects.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember us driving all around the city shooting the buffalo with it. Do you remember this? I have a vivid memory of us putting the camera so high above the fence to shoot these 3D images of the buffalo, and then we lifted you up. Do you remember this? I think you were like on my shoulders to operate the camera.
Yeah, it
Because
was
we
it was
couldn't
a
see. 'Cause
rig.
remember, you had to like look down
You
on
had
the
to look
top.
down at the top camera
Yeah.
to make sure it's aligned.
Yeah, to make sure it's all aligned
Yeah.
properly. Yeah.
Oh man.
God, I hope there's a photo of that somewhere.
We gotta. I'm not trying to look, but we gotta find the pictures of that rig though. I'm
Yeah.
sure you have the pictures of the
Oh, I
rig.
still have the rig in my
You still
parents'
have the rig?
garage. So, yeah, it's in,
That was the
cats have lived
first
in
one.
it since. It's not in great shape, but it's still around.
So, on that point, like when you were getting into filmmaking, was it purely a vision of like I love the images, or was there an aspect of the tools or how
Mm.
things are put together? Like, how did you approach it when you're getting into it? Of like, what drew you into the industry?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think cameras has always excited me.
Mhm.
And then seeing some I remember my friend took me to see like an indie film in high school. It was, this is the movie that like got me interested in filmmaking.
Okay. Okay.
It was But I'm a Cheerleader, which is
Okay.
not people's usual film that they will call out.
Yeah.
But my friend, she took me to go see this movie at the Opera Plaza on Van Ness, which is a small indie art house theater. And I was like, oh, this is cool. It's like not mainstream movie.
Yeah.
It's telling stories that are like important and different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just like, oh, that seems like a cool thing to be part of. And I kind of saw my cable access show being, having the skills I learn there being used elsewhere.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something to pursue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you've done a lot of indies too.
Yeah. 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 That's like,
How
yeah.
do you? What's your process? What's your thought process of like looking at indies and stories? Like, what when you read a script, like how do you break it down? Like,
Yeah.
when do you say yes or when do
Oh.
you say no? Have you said no
Yeah.
to any project?
Yeah, sure. But if it's like, if it has like an artful intent behind it, I'm usually like on board
Okay,
pretty early.
okay.
I'm like, yeah, I want to be part of that. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because that's what I'm looking at in terms of like, just the art.
Mhm.
Feels like you're pure art driven kind of
Mhm.
visual person. Is that an
Mhm.
accurate representation?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like if there's someone who I talked to, I participated in the ASC Vision Mentorship Program where I had a
Yeah.
mentor who's in the ASC.
Yes.
And he had a really great way of describing it, which was if there is, maybe it's a project you're not in love with, but you have to find that thing in it that that you can love and make it all about that.
That's a
And I
good way
thought
to
that was
look at
so
it.
cool because he was
That's
like
a
talking
good
about
way.
this. He was on a TV show, and I don't recall what it is, but he didn't love the script. He didn't think it was necessarily what he wanted to be doing. But there was
Yeah.
one big like climax scene of the show where it's like some big concert or sort of talent show. And he's like, I'm gonna go all in on that. Like I'm
Okay.
gonna build up the whole show to build up to this moment, and then I'm gonna go big theatrical with it and just love what he's doing for that. So
Okay.
I feel like a lot of these projects, it's like you find in it what excites you.
I like that approach because it's not gonna be the whole thing.
Yeah.
If you're waiting for that one perfect thing, it will never come.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
hard, but if you find that one thing to focus on, and you're like, this is it.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it's just like that story that resonates with you, or
Yeah.
it's like maybe it's a location that you've always wanted to shoot at, and you want to do something different with it.
Is there a project that you'd say, if you can, like you locked in and you're like, okay, this was one aspect that made me want to do the project,
Um.
or like built a curiosity to it,
For what? For like a
or
film?
any film or anything that you've, one,
Yeah.
or even the first few ones that you
Huh.
worked on?
Yeah. Boy, I'm trying to think.
It's
I
a
mean,
lot.
each of them have like their thing.
Okay.
That.
I will
I
go
mean,
through them. I have like 3 of them. I think
oh, okay.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
dig into just based off of the projects.
Yeah. I mean, I think like they all like. Well, I think it's like like on the early read of a script. And this is what I've heard a lot of people talk about. It's nothing unusual, but just read it just for the story, and try to understand that. And try not to think about visually yet.
Yeah.
And I like to almost reserve that for meeting the director and hear what they want to do with it.
Yes. Yes.
So that way, I'm not just like shooting in the dark, or I start to get some ideas that aren't in line with what they're doing with their film.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, ultimately it becomes the whole team's film, but I want to be on the same page. So try to understand the story first, and then see what they want to do, and then dive into that.
Because I feel
Yeah.
like that's the hardest part, right? Like especially like starting to read a script, you can't be able to turn off the creativity, right? You see what you can be able to do and all that kind of stuff, but you have to remind yourself that it's not your vision, it's not your script at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's like it's like I have my ideas, but I need to listen because this is yours. You're approaching me to help you work on this.
Yeah.
So I can explore this the way I
Yeah.
want to, but I need to kind of listen first, right?
Totally. Yeah.
And then, later if there's room, there's a capacity to take on ideas from my end, then I can throw in 1 or 2 in there. But first is like the understanding of like, this is your vision.
Right.
And I'm, just a tool or part of the process to help you make this
Yeah. Yeah.
work,
Yeah. I mean, it's hard, right, to read a script and not be thinking visually. Like,
That's
I'm
the
not
only
gonna
thing.
lie. Like, I do write notes of shot ideas because also you don't want to go into a meeting or interview with no ideas.
Yeah.
So it's just a hard balance.
It is.
But just like make sure you understand that story. It's like my first thing, and then, yeah.
It's I'm gonna jumping around, but I'm gonna go back to your journey, right? You worked your way up, right? What is that like?
Well, like I was saying earlier, I finished college and I was like searching for my first film job, and I was about to. My other like parallel interest was to be like a paramedic, and I was about to sign up for like EMT schooling.
Yeah.
And then I got that job at the Chinese news station, and so it's like, okay, I guess I'll do that. And so I was shooting, but at the same time, I was like, I took a very traditional path where I was a camera assistant.
Yeah.
And I met this guy. His name was Ken Hilmer. You knew Ken, right?
I knew Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You took his class, right?
I did.
Yes.
I did.
I think he was like 86 years old when I met him. And our call time was midnight to noon each day. And I was a grip on that. And then he was the second AC, and I saw him loading film, 16 millimeter film there. And I was so interested in it and asked him if he would teach me. And he said he offered a 5-week class on being a camera assistant. So I did that. So I was a film loader, second AC, started firsting. At the same time, I was shooting too, like my own stuff or news or whatever film I could get a part of. Yeah, just kind of building up to the point where I was like, I'm not going to AC anymore and just be shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what does that process to anyone who's curious about that, like the migration from AC to cam op? Like at what point was that you're like, okay, now, was it a readiness or what was that? Was it a confidence of like, I can be able to do that? Or what was your approach to be like, okay, now I can move into the next?
I mean, I think it's for me, I always knew like the end game was to be a DP. Like
Yes.
that's my trajectory. Where I have a lot of friends who are ACs and they want to be a first, you know, so
Mm-hmm.
they start as a like a camera PA and then a second and then start firsting. So for me, it was always just a way to work with other DPs and study them and see how they work. Yeah. I used to keep like a little like log after a shoot. It was like I call it shoot notes. It's just this document on my
Yeah.
computer. And I would just write down the things I observed on each shoot and how each DP worked. And then like getting further along, I started to get like I was like trying to phase out being an AC,
Mm-hmm.
but there were still like a few DPs I always worked with. If they called me, I was like gonna say yes. So just the list got narrower
Yeah.
towards the end. Yeah,
I have an idea of a few of them. Can you name a few of them?
of those DPs I
Yeah.
worked with,
Yeah. And the ones that
yeah,
inspired you too. You know.
yeah. I'm like I definitely loved working for Condiotti,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's another DP who left a big impression on me. His name was Scott Butfield, and he was an incredible DP, very experimental,
Mm.
and did a lot of like interesting camera rigs and lighting approaches, and ran some really really big sets. Yeah,
That's
yeah. So
amazing.
he was like the last one I really worked for. Then he retired, so it's kind of a natural
A
like time
transition too.
to switch out. Yeah,
And from that was to cam up or to full on DP
mostly the shooting. Yeah, as a DP really.
as a DP.
Yeah.
What do you see like your path without conversation? Just different people who we know do the path of like they make it up to they go in the lighting world and then cross over.
Mm-hmm.
To you, what do you see was the lessons or the what you took from starting from HC going up to DP?
Mm. I mean, I definitely liked. I wanted to be like right close to camera, especially back then. It was like there was no wireless. If you had wireless, you had to justify it to a
I know.
producer. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a very complicated Steadicam shot. Now everything's wired. Everyone's kind of like a little further removed, but like I like being right up on the camera,
Yeah.
watching all the decisions being made, being close to the actors. So I chose that path just so I could be as close to everything as possible.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
hard to get a wireless monitor
Yeah.
on those sets.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're
Yeah.
right next to the DP just pulling focus and everything was like tight.
Yeah.
I remember when I got the wireless, that was a little later. I
Mm-hmm.
think it was a job for Art Adams and I was the AC.
Mm.
I just got in the monitor, a wireless monitor, and I was a little bit farther. I wasn't trying to stand and do,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it
I used
just
to,
looked totally different.
I used to
you know,
chase dollies around with focus whips and all this stuff. Yeah.
you're like, no, now I can stay further apart and kind of see where
Yeah.
the line is and what you need.
Yeah.
It's gotten way better than what it was.
Oh yeah. There's
You
pros
know.
and cons with that too, because I feel like when I was in AC, especially with Scott, like he would whisper things to me in the middle of a take just to tell me a new focus cue.
Yeah,
And like sure, we could have like walkie talkies and or headsets to do all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But just like there's so much added complexity to what used to be very simple. Just like whisper in my ear. I'm right here, he's there.
Is it-
That was it.
It's
And like sometimes I kind of wish it was still run that way.
because you
But-
you have a feeling
Yeah, but just yes, yeah. I
that
mean, like,
connect. I always feel like it's a dance,
Mhm.
right? Like you once you're both in rhythm.
mhm.
And I know, like, working with ACs right now, some of them, like, because to me, it's a feeling, right? It's
Mhm.
like the camera is moving, you find what you need,
Mhm.
but you're also not staying. It's like you're just dancing around the shot. But,
Yeah.
like, if you're connected with your AC, it's easier because they know how you move and, you know, where you're headed to before you start going.
Yeah.
And it's not the typical, like, oh, I'm here and then I'm going to do this.
Mhm.
But if I have to do that, then I have to communicate.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, if you're right there, it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna be
I mean,
moving, and you can see you can see, because everything is physical, right? You
Mhm.
know that your DP is gonna be moving because
Right.
he's,
yeah.
and you're seeing where he's going. So
Yeah.
there's that part you're seeing both lines, and I
Yeah.
think for older DPs that was the hardest thing
Right.
to let go of,
Mhm.
right? It's like now you're not here.
Right.
Do you see what I'm doing?
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think there's like a perfect world would be like a hybrid approach where you do that for certain shots and others you do what we're doing now, which is all this wireless stuff and focus gadgets to help keep. I mean, we're certainly pulling focus on much more complicated shots now.
Yeah.
than used to.
The other one
So
was
it's
more
like,
stressful, I feel like.
yeah,
Man, doing your marks and having to, make sure you know the distance and measuring your distance
yeah.
and doing all that stuff.
I used to sit on the couch with when I was a first and I
Yeah.
had my little laser measure and I would just like guess distances, be like that light is 11 feet away, and check it 16 feet away. Because when I did get a wireless follow focus on a shoot with a Steadicam, it's like I always walk parallel to the action, so I could always measure the distance. There was no monitor,
Yeah.
at least not in the jobs I was doing.
No.
Like that stuff existed, but it wasn't for me. So
I remember the excitement of it was Home Depot. What is that? The blue one. Remember we used to get it. Now the beauty was some sets would be like and that's the time we were doing opping but still
mm,
ACing. We'd all be on one set opping
mm,
for a project.
mm-hmm.
All of us with like the laser measuring the distance and
Mm.
guessing what that
Oh yeah,
was.
uh-huh.
It's like one of us is doing it and someone is like guessing and
Yeah,
looking at the
right.
number. Um, I still have them, and I think I see it. Like, what is that for?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I always had it in my AC kit.
Right. Yeah.
Because at that time that's how you got the distance. Now it's like eyeballing it and seeing the distance with your
Mm-hmm.
follow focus of like where the person is and all that.
Yeah.
Um, is there any of that you're using right now as a DP? Anything that
Well, I
as
think
an AC that you're like, okay, this is still a good asset for me as a
yeah.
DP now?
Well, I mean, I think just like understanding the job and like what you're asking of people, even though like I shoot more open than a lot of people would like at times and do things that would, certainly deserve more rehearsals. But
Yeah.
I think, I mean, ultimately from that time, what I like I just treat that time as like a study, like it was like my graduate school into
Yeah.
cinematography effectively,
Yeah.
just to learn from other DPs and what they're doing. And I got to work with so many different ones. And just keep the learning going.
Keep the learning. No, that's
Yeah.
the right way. With the step, just run us through your process of cameras. How did you're in
The cameras that
5D
I've gone
that
through over
you've
the
gone
years.
through,
Oh
right?
man, yeah. Well, it started with the HVX 200,
Uh-huh.
and I remember I was like freaked out to get it, like totally freaked out. I had to
Yeah.
like start a second credit card so I could split the charge between the two to get it.
Yeah.
No tripod. Then like a year later, I think I got my first tripod, and I was like renting tripods per job. And then I got that 35 adapter for the HVX 200.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Canon 5D became popular.
Yes.
And then when the 7D came out, I got the 7D.
Yes.
And that was like revolutionary because it was like with the 35 adapter on the HVX 200, just to go back for a second, your ISO is effectively like 25.
Oh yeah.
You're just like blasting
Blasting
lights on
light on
people.
talent
Yeah,
the
just to
whole
get
time.
exposure, and you're
Yeah.
always underexposed.
Yeah.
So now you had the 7D that could shoot like 800 ISO. It was like
Mm-hmm.
amazing. So I had that until the Red Scarlet was announced, and I got a Scarlet. Had that for a few years, and they had that trade-up program where it became a Dragon, which became an Epic, which became a Helium, and now I'm on the Raptor. So
Okay.
it's like I've kind of been that family for a while.
Been on red
Yeah,
the whole.
yeah,
the
it seemed to
whole
like
way.
kind of suit the path that I could do as an owner operator, which like half my jobs are with that, and the other half are like something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How with So what are your thoughts on the new red?
Which news you read? That little guy you got
This
back
little
there?
guy got back
Yeah,
here.
it's.
If I go back, what do you
I
think of this guy?
I think it's exciting. I haven't put it through the paces yet, but it looks pretty cool.
I like the size, super tiny.
Yeah, I like all my camera builds. I like them small as possible. And sometimes when the builds get so big,
Uh-huh.
I don't know, because I like to grab something and put it somewhere. I just like to be small, keep it small. So the smaller it gets, it interests me.
No, that's yeah. I think it's more of a different kind of tools for different projects, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because the Scarlet, the Red, all of them, I was on the same journey with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're all
Yeah,
moving
we had the
through.
same upgrade paths.
We're doing the same upgrade paths as we go. But it was all the same, right? Like AC to camera to
Mm-hmm.
DP,
Mm-hmm.
working your way and collaborating as many projects as we could.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, I have a shoot, or you have a shoot. It's like, or Clay has a shoot, and at that time we're working for Evolve Media, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And we'd be all on one set,
Yeah, we used to always, there was like a gang of us. We'd all be together on every job. And we like, remember, like, we didn't never had a grip truck or anything. We
No,
all, like, I brought like a tweenie and you brought a baby light.
I know
And then just collectively, we had just enough to pull off
to
like a
pull up.
basic interview or something.
Yeah,
Yeah. And,
3 cars pull up,
yeah.
and they all have like split. It's like camera is from here, tripod is from here, some lights are from
Yeah.
here. I felt like that was a good community though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like we're not taking any load all one. It's like just smaller packages from hot lights, and then we went into kinos.
Yeah.
You had the same
Mm-hmm.
package. But there was a level of like just a teamwork to get these shoots
Yeah.
completed.
Well, I don't know if, I mean, speaking back to highlights, I don't know if you recall this, but there was a job we did where we're doing these like music lessons. Do you remember this? Up in like Napa? And
Yes.
so we bring all our
Yeah.
hot lights there. And I used to carry a fire extinguisher with me just in case a fire got started. And my car, I had this, I still have a little hatchback, but the hatchback I had at the time would be packed to the ceiling.
To this. Yep.
And I couldn't get the door closed. I'm slamming it closed over and over again. And I pushed a little too hard and the fire extinguisher went off. Were you there for this? Do you remember this?
I remember that day I wasn't, but I remember
Okay.
the story.
Yeah. And then Clay goes, "It's going to blow." Because we thought my car was exploding because there was just smoke coming out from all sides. And there was a fire extinguisher going off in my car. And my gear was never the same after that. Like years later, all my lights died because that residue from the fire extinguisher destroyed everything. My tripod that I worked so hard to buy forever, which I still have, still is caked on stuff. Like probably very carcinogenic.
Is this a cartoni?
Yeah.
Is a cartoni?
There's still like a layer of this like gray stuff that's just on it from that day.
Oh man.
It was gnarly.
Yeah, because you had there were the blue lights. You had the full case.
I bought the kit, the airy
the
kit.
airy kit. Yeah, you had the full kit in the case.
2 tweenies,
Yeah.
and like a midget or something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I was waiting to hear that. Because you haven't done that. Mine, I cracked my windshield
Oh, yeah?
with a 9-foot backdrop.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So same kind of
Just
deal.
pushed
It's
it
like
a little too far?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like in the morning, I'm going to set, and they're like, "Yeah, we need a 9-foot backdrop." My car is already full of gear,
Mm-hmm.
so I drop into JCX.
Mm.
I buy a backdrop,
Mm.
stick it, and it's like same thing. We always bought box cars,
Mhm.
right? Because you're like, I just need to fit my gear. Like
Mhm.
my car is just for gear.
Yeah.
So I put it across, but I didn't push it all. I still had something that was stuck. Like I had to put it straight.
Yeah.
If it leans up or whatever, it doesn't close. It
Mhm.
doesn't fit completely.
Mm-hmm.
It just did.
Yeah. Oof.
Then I just had.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh
Yeah.
man.
Oh,
So.
I share that pain. I've done that twice.
Oh really?
Yeah. One time was on a short film where I was getting paid $100 a day. And it was at Wrap, we put it was gas pipe that we're using as dolly track.
Okay.
And we just put it in my car a little too far. And I didn't hear the bang. And then later, when we finally drove away, I was like, "Oh, why does it look like spider webs?"
Oh my
And
windshield.
all the glass was like that.
Oh no.
And a second time later, it just started with a little crack. I
Mhm.
was like, I can live with that. But that crack just kept growing. And then I had to like change out the whole windshield.
It was pre-grip truck.
Yeah.
But I
well,
was
actually, the
working
second
my
one
way
was
up.
kind of recently.
Oh really?
Yeah. It still happens, you know?
No, it still happens.
Yeah.
Because not all shoots have the same demand, right?
Yeah.
And at that time, it was like getting on shoots with grip trucks or the DPs that we looked up to, right?
Mhm. Yeah. That was like the big deal. If you
Yes.
get a grip truck, that
Get
was
a
like,
grip truck.
like I
So
remember like talking to everybody like, "Oh, we're gonna get a grip truck on this one."
it was like, yeah, we don't have
Yeah.
to worry about lighting.
Yeah.
But also the friends that we had, or just the gaffers that we had, sometimes would pull up. The grip truck would be the trucks,
Mm-hmm.
like the back of the cars,
Mhm.
like pickup trucks.
Yeah.
But it was still a lifesaver than what we had to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was like, I don't have to carry half of the stuff in my car, which
Right.
was, you have to load in like what, you have to plan 2 hours or an hour 30, just loading in your
Mhm.
car
Yeah.
before you have to leave to get to set.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But now, so what lessons would you say you learned, like just from coming up from where you came from to where you are now?
Lessons. Well, advice I've heard, which I really like, is to like follow the jobs that align with the career you want to have
Okay.
and not the paycheck. And I feel like I've learned those lessons in the past where I was like, oh man, I've got this one shoot that pays better than this thing, but
Yeah.
the other thing is, more of what I want to be doing. And
Mhm.
I would like struggle trying to make them both work. Like try to be like, can we do that one on Tuesday? And then this one happened on Wednesday. And I spent like so much effort trying to make everything work. And I think the lesson there for me was like, just double down on the stuff you want to be doing,
Okay. Okay.
depending whatever that is, and then just make that the priority.
How easy is that?
It's not easy. It's like there are times where I've like I did a indie feature in 2020 that I was so excited to do, and we did it, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Of course, I get this call, which was like for a 2-week shoot.
Yeah.
That would have paid like exponentially better. But I was like,
Yeah.
nope. I was like, didn't want to think about it. Just had to tune it out. It's hard.
Did you
to
let
tune
it go?
out. I let it go. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So there's been a few things like that where it's, you just have to.
How do you look at that when you're starting out, though?
I feel like when you start out, it's like
For someone who's starting out, like
Yeah.
how would you advise them on that?
Yeah. Well, because you got to make ends meet.
Yes.
We're in this country
Uh-huh.
where everything is a hustle. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I bet it sort of falls kind of similar to what we did, where we tried to make everything work out.
Yeah.
But I think just trying to get your priorities straight of what you want to be doing
Mm-hmm.
and try to align yourself best for that. Like early on, I mean, I always had these jobs that were very flexible.
Yes.
Like I was a San Francisco Unified School District substitute teacher because I could work any day of the week if I wanted.
Yeah.
But I committed to nothing, so I could
Yeah.
always be available for shoots when they came.
Yes.
Yeah, so stuff like that.
As you keep following your passion and finding.
Yeah, until slowly that starts to dominate, like how you live and support yourself. And then you don't have to do that job anymore.
Do you think you can survive in this industry being linear, meaning like just as just a creative, or is there a balance of like work shoots that are just work and on the creative?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a balance between the two. I mean, I've seen less. I know I've seen less like films, like creative stuff happening lately. Like I feel like there used to be a lot more.
Yeah.
So it's I wish there was more of it. I wish I was confronted more often to be put in that position I don't want to be in. But it's like, I don't know how to answer it really so much because it's, there's just not as much like films happening as there used to be in the Bay Area specifically. I mean, I'm sure the whole country.
That's true. That's true. Let me touch on your journey. What is your first feature that you did?
Depends how it's defined. First feature was a short film.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very ambitious short film that definitely by the time we did it was like 3 weeks of shooting. Like we did like over 21 days and it never got completed, though I've seen cuts that were about 45 minutes to an hour long, something like that.
Okay.
And had so much potential.
Yeah.
And to this day I still once in a while text the director and be like, hey, we got to finish that movie.
So you were invested in it.
Yeah. I mean, I love where the film kind of left off at and think it's got a lot of potential.
Okay.
So I think I'd call that my first feature.
Yes.
And then later I did a film in France, which was a feature, also never completed, this is a whole topic too, of these like incomplete projects.
Yes.
I've got many.
Yes.
This one was like, it was really interesting. It was in France. The whole cast were differently abled is the term used.
Okay.
But they all have like sort of mental handicaps.
Okay.
And the director worked with them to write their own script and film. And it was this like big bank robbery movie they wanted to do. And there was like 30 or 40 of them in the cast. And they were like kind of responsible for the big picture story.
Wow.
And there was just sort of this team of technicians that helped make this film happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we shot 4 weeks on that. And that was my second like full length project,
Okay.
but never got
Never
finished.
got finished.
Yeah.
Did you
And
know
it's a
what?
similar thing. I email a director like once a year and like, hey, how's it going?
What did that one say?
I feel like people get burnt out, you know?
That's true.
They've seen the film 1,001 times and they're just kind of they lose the excitement and passion for it and
Mm-hmm.
they run out of money and it's just like everything becomes a struggle. Yeah.
Yes, that's the stuff. And you've dug in so like they've dug in so much into it.
Yeah. But it's hard for like us because then we invest
That's yeah.
yeah, like as the DP and as the crew, you invest a lot into it emotionally
That's true.
and it doesn't get complete and it's just like, oh man, it's a rough one.
You know, at some point I thought I had a gauge of which projects you take that would see completion, but it's hard. You
Yeah.
know, because you have the director who's passionate to get this thing done.
Mm-hmm.
And then somewhere in between, it's like, and especially, I always feel like if they're the ones editing too,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because you mentioned it's like, you know, you keep seeing it over and over and you're like, oh, I can improve this. But it's like, when do you stop and just say
Right,
it's
yeah.
ready? Just go and make another one,
Yeah.
release and then go to the next one.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
No, it's important to try to finish it. Yeah.
yeah, no, that's true. And then what is the next one?
If I'm sticking strictly narrative, because I did some docs that were feature length too.
Yes, yes.
But staying narrative, Ulrich's film, The Alternate.
Oh, yeah, I remember
and
that
that
one.
one was completed
That was
and
big.
did some cool festivals and yeah.
I remember that one. And that was
Yeah.
locally shot.
Yeah, we shot that all mostly down in the peninsula and a little bit in the city. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So those were like the first three.
The first three.
Yeah.
And then I know it's hard to say which one. And which one is the next one? I'm leading up towards you also moved into writing your own,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
But before that, all those were features and shorts, right? You've done, how many would you range between features and shorts? How many features have you done and how many shorts do you have under your belt?
Not sure really. It just depends if they're complete or not.
If they're complete or not.
Yeah,
That's true.
Like completed films.
Yeah.
Like I mean, The Alternate. I did Pick a Side, and I recently shot a film last fall that is near completion, and that's gonna be completed.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like I think there's like 4 features actually like finished and out there, or just about, and then there's like the 3 that are like hopefully someday.
Yeah.
And then there's several docs I've worked on.
And you love the doc worlds too? The documentaries?
Yeah, I mean, they're such a different beast, really.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
Yeah. How do you like docs?
I love docs. I feel
Yeah?
like it's a connection to... This is a different connection to people, and you know, some of them is... There's truth to it, and I'm a curious person, so half of the time I'm also learning as I'm going, and it just picks my... You know, especially if it's docs with good subject matter, that you're like, okay, I didn't know that. Okay, I'm learning.
Yeah.
I did not know that. You know, slowly you're getting invested into this whole thing, and you leave the doc with more knowledge or more information than you had. So, in a way, I still look at docs. I still enjoy docs.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like it's a mode of learning too, and part of what we do as creatives is we're always curious. We're always trying to learn something new or figure something new. So if I'm adding my skills into helping kind of tell this story, I think that becomes and it's not propaganda, but it's a true story. I think that's I enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
When I can.
Yeah. I love how you can get into these worlds that you would not have access to. Like before we start, we were talking a little about like San Quentin, and like I worked on a film there and like got to see and meet people that had incredible stories, you know. And at one point I worked on a documentary in Haiti, and I ended up in this like voodoo priest house, and she like took me downstairs, and it's all candlelit, and there are human skulls on all the walls.
Human skulls?
Yeah. Yeah, like some people have wallpaper on the walls.
Yeah.
This was skulls. Human.
Okay.
And she's like, oh, and that's my aunt, and that's my grandma. Like, oh,
cool.
But like, got this like incredible look into a world that you know you would never get access to.
That's true.
That's my favorite thing about docs. It's
That's,
like the places it takes you. Yeah.
and you did a lot of docs,
I've
right?
done quite a
You've
few.
done quite
Yeah.
a few docs.
Yeah.
From which one was that? The you guys did a Starbucks, right? For
What is it?
the one you guys went to Brazil. Was it a
Oh yeah, that was a coffee.
it was a coffee
It was
thing, right?
for Dunkin' Donuts.
It was Dunkin'
Yeah,
Donuts.
that was who it was for.
That is
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Brazil and Colombia.
I think the
Yeah.
beauty of what we do is we get to travel. You
Yeah.
know, talking about
Mhm.
going into different worlds.
Mhm.
Feel like as much as taking a vacation or whatever, but just being able to work and going to these places just to tell stories is also amazing. Like just
Yeah.
as a is there what was the best place that you filmed that you're like, okay, be it tech or whatever it is, but took you
Yeah.
there and you're like, man, this was one of the best
Yeah.
places.
I mean, Haiti was kind of really up there for me. It was like
The skulls can't be matched.
yeah, I've described it as like the best worst filming experience I've ever had, or the worst best filming experience I've ever had,
Okay,
because it was just so hard.
tell me
Like I
more.
lost like over 20, I think like 23 pounds working on that film.
How long were you there?
3 weeks.
Damn,
Yeah, like it was just a really hard film. It was right after the earthquake. It was a
I
brutal
know.
time to be there. Yeah, it was just like seeing the resilience in Haiti
Mm-hmm.
and just yeah, I don't know. It was just very moving time to be there, and the people I met and the people we shot. It was just like really really eye opening, kind of incredible experience.
That's
Yeah,
amazing. Is the doc out?
it's kind of it's almost like an art installation piece. It was like a collection of speeches
Okay.
by sort of prominent Haitians talking
Okay.
about the future and like rebound of Haiti after the
Okay.
earthquake.
Yeah.
So it's like it can be experienced on like a website where you just like look through this huge catalog of people, and they could be an activist, they could be a poet, they could be a children's writer or something, or a doctor, and they would deliver a speech. They would stand on like some sort of, it was called a soapbox in Haiti. So they'd stand on some sort of soapbox of whatever it was. It could have been rubble from the earthquake or
Yeah.
in some sort of dramatic setting, and deliver this very personal speech about the future of Haiti for them. Yeah. And so, but it was like, the intent was it could be like in a museum. You could go into like a room, and there'd be like screens, and you could pick up headphones and like listen to each speech like that.
From different people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you could kind of like interact with it in a way. I always thought it should have been a standalone film too,
Yeah.
but
Could have
they never
finished as a
they
film.
never did that.
Because you guys captured a lot of good material out of there, right?
Yeah, I mean we were there for like 3 weeks, so we got a lot of
That's a lot of time.
like really incredible stories. Yeah, yeah. But we were like, it was super indie. I mean, there was like very little budget for this. Like I slept on the floor of our fixer's bedroom
Are you serious?
while he slept in the bed right there. You know,
Oh,
and, yeah.
that's passion right
And
there.
we were like up this
Jason.
like hill on this road. We couldn't go out and do anything. So you're just like in it for 3 weeks. You know,
It was you and the director?
me, the director, a producer, local fixer, driver. That was like, yeah, that was us. Yeah. So producer did sound, I did camera, and director would usually work with them on their like speeches, and yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
chasing the passion.
yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm on the
Like,
flow, but
it
I'm
was-
getting a good
It
story
was
out of this.
$100 a day with my 7D, you know.
Sleeping
Yeah.
on the
This was
floor.
a while ago, that film.
This was a while.
Yeah, because it was like shortly after the earthquake, so it was like
Yeah. It's been-
2013 or 12 or something.
And what drives you towards documentaries? You asked me the same question.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just to get these like experiences, really,
Yeah.
the adventure, you know. But documentary also stresses me out more than narrative.
Okay, say more.
Yeah, because you could be shooting and killing it all day with your shooting.
Yeah.
99% of the day, you're doing great.
Yeah.
1%, you like scratch your head or something. Then the amazing thing happens, and your camera does this, and that's what makes the cut. But you killed it all day. So, so
The
it's just like,
unknown.
that I don't love that. You know what I mean? So like just trying to be set up in a way that you could do your best. And I feel like it took me a long time to figure out how to shoot documentary.
Okay.
Yeah, like years and years to understand that it's all about where you position yourself, you know, and like how do you show the story unfolding in front of you.
Okay.
And like I used to watch a lot of Frederick Weissman documentaries. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's a lot of stuff's on Canopy, and like the camera operating that is like so incredible, I think. Or the God, what's the other film called? Can't remember right now. I'll bring it up when I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they would shoot in such a way that I've heard them talk about it, where they would always follow sound. So they would like paint a portrait of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like if these two people are arguing and then the baby starts crying and it has nothing to do with them, the camera will leave them and then go to the baby crying,
Because that's
and then come back, and it's just like they really paint this like really beautiful portrait of what's happening in front of you. And it's all about where you position yourself in the camera.
a good approach.
Yeah. So I feel like it took me years to figure that out. Before I used to like shoot documentary with like two people talk, I'd be like, here, and like jump across this shoulder here, and like trying to like create like more of a narrative kind of cutting environment.
Yes.
Instead of being in the middle and doing this, you know, and like following
That's
the action,
true.
maybe hanging here just for reactions while they're talking, or, you know, taking the chances when to leave,
Mm.
you know, how to do that. Yeah.
What's your thought on handheld? What we're talking about as a cinematographer? Because
I
you
mean,
do a
it's-
lot of handhelds.
I have done it. Yeah. I mean, it depends on the project, you know. To do it well is hard.
To do it well is hard.
Yeah.
And what is well in your level of like, you know, to say that you do well is hard?
I mean, I don't like when I remember like my 7D, like I'd look back at my handheld stuff, like it's all like these little micro shakes
Yeah.
and like all that to me just it draws attention to the operator.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like it to be a little more invisible
Mhm.
when possible. So I think it's like having a rig that like seams with your body well, so that you can kind of intimately and comfortably shoot for long periods of time and not have it draw a lot of attention to itself. Unless there's times you want to do that, like where you
That's
want
true.
it to be like that instance of like, it was the Maisel brothers who I was trying to think about.
Hazel Bros.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who would like really, like there's a film, Grey Gardens, they did, where it's like the camera, like they're singing in the beds and it's moving between here and here, and then
Gray or great?
Grey
Grey Gardens.
Gardens.
Okay.
And like they'll go to the mirror and get a little bit of reflection, and then just tilt down to this like spoon that has like Cheerios on it from like 5 weeks ago or something. You know, like the camera operator is very present because they're like just illustrating the story of these people visually. And like to me that's like brilliant handheld too. Like I just like love that. I even heard about he would keep a rear view mirror on his camera so that he could be shooting you, but then he's also like simultaneously watching what's happening over there.
For
So
real?
yeah. So that way, because if you look at the timing of the camera operating, it's always perfect. Like he pans and hits that person right at the right time. I used to watch his movies and be like, how is he doing that? Like, how is he getting to that person like right when they yawn, you know, or something like that? He's like,
And these are all one shot. Like he's just rolling
a
the
lot
whole
of these
time.
are long takes. Yeah, same thing with Frederick Weissman. They're both very similar in like the kind of genre of documentary, at least. Yeah, but they're watching. And I was like, how? And there's very little written on it. I would like look at pictures of the rigs, and I'd see a little mirror there. What is that?
What is that?
Yeah,
Oh, that's the way he's.
yeah,
Oh, because he's also gauging whether that's gonna be worth
yeah. Like when
hitting it.
Like, should I go to that?
Or is
like
it
maybe this is a really boring thing they're talking about. Someone's yawning. Perfect. Boom.
cut to this?
And then back. You know, he's not going to go to that person, wait there for like 10 seconds, you know, oh, maybe they yawn or something or not.
That's an interesting
Yeah.
way to look at it.
Yeah. So I feel like some of that like docu handheld stuff I don't know, when the time, it's all about timing too.
It's all about time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes you pan and you get there and the person stops doing it, and now you're like,
Yeah.
oh, and you come back. But yeah, it's a good like movement when it's done right. You're
Yeah.
like, dude.
Yeah. And I think in committing to a move, you know, that thing where you're like, oh, no, I shouldn't have done that. Oh,
Should
damn
have
it.
just gone. Yeah,
then you-
yeah.
the
That's the hardest thing.
The
though.
hesitation breaks everything.
It
It's
breaks
like,
everything because
yeah.
now the audience is like, wait, are we going or not?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
now invested in your movement too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Like I recently did a I participated in this camera operating workshop that Local 600 held in LA,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
it was an incredible experience. And some of the instructors were talking about this very thing. Like, you have to commit to your moves. Like, if you start going, just go.
Let's go.
Get to that frame and hang there until it's time to leave it, you know,
That's
which is really hard to do. And and develop that confidence to,
to actually make
and your
that.
intuition, like that was the right move. And if it wasn't the right move, just see it through.
Just see it
you know?
through. Just
Yeah.
take us there. Pretend you actually thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
You meant
Yeah.
to do it, but
Yeah, because the magic may still happen.
may
you know?
still
Yeah.
And then when do you know to come back?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I can keep you here for such duration, then I gotta dip.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think
Uh,
like timing is like everything, especially with handheld. I mean, any of it really. But,
Yeah. No, I enjoy handheld. Sometimes it feels like with the tripod you're kind of locked in place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like there's those little moves that you're like, I just, like right now, if you're behind that, you're like, I just want to be like just a little bit.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Lift the whole tripod, you change the
Mhm.
whole whatever, but you can slowly slide just, because you have control of the camera.
Yeah.
It just feels more fluid.
Yeah. Totally.
Is there which one do you prefer for handheld? Easy rig or any other?
I like just
There's a
my favorite
satchel
is
too.
a balanced camera on my shoulder.
Okay.
Like balanced. That's the thing is it's just like all the time it's just so many front heavy systems or this that. Like I'll use an easy rig when it's when the situation's right. But if I have to like walk with talent, it's usually not something
It's not the right tool.
because it just adds too much bounce. But if people are like sitting at a table and I need to kind of move over people's shoulders or we're shooting kids, like I find it helpful. Yeah.
A balanced camera on your shoulders.
But like eyepiece balance where it's just like you can almost like let go and it's there.
Yeah.
Then you're in the right spot.
Couldn't do that with the 7Ds.
Nope.
I
used to do all.
I feel like I built my front
Oh yeah.
muscles from that. Just
Well, I used to have these like goofy rigs, these like really long rails, and like put a bunch of batteries.
hella
I
weight
had
in the
I had
back.
counterweights in the
Oh,
back,
yeah.
and like I never quite could get it right.
No. Yeah, I think especially EVFs. I'm a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
They have few cameras. We went to Zakudo. We went to all this tech just to try and get like a good EVF that you can look through and it sits on your shoulder.
Right. Yeah.
But right now I think it's easier.
Yeah.
The technology has changed so much from when
the tools
we
are more
were.
accessible. Like I just bought a shark fin for my camera, like a few months ago, and I was like, oh,
What is a shark fin?
when you put the two battery. One battery plug with
the two sticking off.
Yeah, so you can like hot swap.
Okay. Yeah.
But it adds all this weight in the back.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, like how come I've never had this before? Oh, because they were like thousands of dollars
thousands
like a year ago.
No,
And now there's like really affordable options.
Yeah. So you put two of your like batteries,
like two V mounts just on the back, and then it's nice too for dock because it just keeps the camera alive, indefinitely really, because you can just hot swap it. And
that's true.
Puts a lot of weight in the back, so
that makes
balanced.
Yeah. No battery power. We have like huge ass batteries that you're like, it's gonna kill you.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm not, a lot of my handle actually I end up going on an easy rig because of just the weight of the camera.
Yeah. And I'll use it all the time too. It happens. It's just like my ideal situation
will be with
if
it's a good balance
on my shoulder.
If it's balanced well and it has a good shoulder pad, it's easy. It feels more comfortable because you don't notice it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I don't remember what project that was I came off of, but I'd stopped doing, especially just sitting the camera, because I don't know if you've had this happen to you, like my neck locked. And that was because, I don't remember which camera it was.
Too much handheld or something?
It was the plate was sitting on a nerve over here. And
so
after,
like this?
It was like a week or whatever, I could not turn my head.
Oh, yeah.
Completely. But I guess from the tension that I was doing this just to keep everything and then just the weight that was sitting over here.
Yeah.
From the chiropractor was like, your muscles just locked themselves. So
yeah,
it was like it took another 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah.
Just to,
you
and funny enough, I
yourself.
finished the job and we were going on vacation with Nanu. So that whole vacation I was looking for, we went to Denver. I was looking for a chiropractor and deep tissue massage.
Oh man.
The whole time we were there because I was in so much pain.
Yeah.
But I always recommend, I don't know what you do, like stretches or whatever for
Yeah,
for our
I've
industry.
stretches I like to do, regardless. But I will say for like injuries from handheld, I've done acupuncture,
Acupuncture.
and it kind of
Okay.
blows my mind how well that works. I
Interesting. I've
went
never
in,
done
and
acupuncture.
after one session, I felt immediately better. And then she was like, "Oh, you have to come in like 3 or 5 times." I never came back because I was like, "Oh, it's all
You're
fixed.
like, you
I'm
fixed it. I'm
healed."
done.
But yeah, but it's an incredible one because
Okay.
I've really hurt myself too doing it, and yeah, acupuncture was like
Okay.
pretty amazing. Yeah,
That's good to know. Yeah,
yeah,
because some shoots you go, a week, and
mm-hmm,
you're enjoying the job. You don't realize like your
mm-hmm.
body's. It's not normal what you're doing half the
No,
time.
yeah, you're all
Like you're at
off
a corner
balance. Yeah,
just like
tweaked
this,
out.
just
Yeah,
or in a little corner, but you're trying to get that shot.
mm-hmm.
And afterwards is when you're like, okay, what's that?
Yeah, yeah,
But all the needles, I don't know. Let's
yeah.
see about
Give it a
acupuncture.
try. Blow your mind.
It'll blow my
Yeah,
mind.
I was skeptical. I was like 100% convinced after that one session.
And then you just never
Because I
went
had
back.
this one shoot, it was like a reality show, and it was just like brutal handheld for a week, long days. I was like really hurting,
Hmm.
and then I went in and like it just immediately felt better. Yeah.
Let me ask about the direct writing path
Mm.
that you are on right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily on that path, but yeah, I
Oh,
have
you're
a
already
film.
there.
I have a film I
You
did.
have a film, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've always had interest in directing films, and you worked on one I did,
Mm-hmm.
like more of experimental documentary at the table.
The
Remember?
house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I've
Yeah, at
once in
least
a
that saw
while.
the light of day. I can't say the director didn't finish the project. The director finished that project
That
that
one's
I
done.
worked
I
on.
should send it to you.
No, I
Yeah.
know, I know. And you ran it through festivals,
I sent to
right?
one
Sent
festival.
to one
I know I should have done something more with it,
Yeah.
but
At least I would say it was done. The director finished the project I
yeah,
worked on.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know, once every few years, I get this like itch to direct something,
Yes.
and part of it's also in response to myself as cinematographer wanting to shoot something a way that I'm not getting the chances to.
Okay.
So like this last one I did, one takes place on a river, basically on a canoe. It's hard shooting on water. Learned that lesson very quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, that was like it was just something I kind of wanted to explore
Okay.
myself, but not necessarily like it's not like the next step for me. I think as a director,
No?
I mean, I'd like to direct certain things, but yeah,
Features, more docs, or because the first one I worked with you was a doc.
mm-hmm. The one that I directed,
Yeah.
yeah,
That was a doc. And
yeah,
then now you have another directorial,
that was like
which is
a
a feature,
narrative short,
narrative
yeah,
short.
yeah, and I have a feature too. I'm trying to get off the ground too,
Nice.
but yeah, we'll see. It's like it
You're
all
still
comes down to
writing?
this,
It's all money.
yeah.
Is you finished writing or is it still
It's the ideas kind of developed,
okay?
and I have a script. I'm not like I haven't really showed it to anybody yet. Yeah, trying to get it some legs, but it's
Okay.
hard, to find people to surround it, and like I kind of need like the structure of a program to be like, oh, like here's your deadline for this, or like I'm gonna connect you with a producer or writing partners. I need something to kind of hold me accountable.
Ah,
Otherwise, I just like, I have kids. It's hard. It's like, and balancing work. It's like, where does this time exist?
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look into the what is that called? The fellowships that they have. The Sundance one.
Mm. Yeah. They're hard. I've applied to those before. It's
With this
yeah.
feature? No, you haven't.
Yeah.
done those.
Like an earlier version of it. Like I've been developing for a couple of years now. Yeah.
It's a yeah, I kinda get it. It makes sense. I don't write.
Mm. Do you want to? No.
No. I think I know where I enjoy most. I'm like the writing part is
Yeah.
I enjoy reading good scripts.
Mm. Yeah.
But like myself as a writer is like no.
Mm.
And like I think the level of directing that we do, we do all the time with a lot of projects that we find ourselves in with like younger directors, which I had those like on short films, right? It was a first time director. And you're working with them in a way you're semi directing because you're like, okay, we need to get these things
Yeah.
going, Um, but I like the technology. Like staying on the camera, lighting kind of world
Yeah.
than the talent side of things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I
Yeah.
always feel like I'm good on this side. The talent I respect, and that's why I respect directors who,
Mm-hmm.
are committed and they're like, I need my actors to do all this kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard, I think, as a DP to go into that because we're just so used to going from one shoot to the next to the next. Like it's like we're like we have too much like ADD for that. Like it's like, oh, okay, here's this film. It's gonna take years to the shoot day. You know?
like we can shoot this tomorrow. I just need to get these guys to come in and we
Yeah.
can be able to get it done.
Yeah.
But I respect it. Like, it's when those two work, it becomes amazing because you have two worlds that connect, right? Like someone who's really focused on the actors
Mm-hmm.
and makes sure like they're giving the best performance.
Mm.
And invisibly, it's lit well and
Mm-hmm.
it's, the camera movement is
Mm-hmm.
perfect. Like when you can't notice those 2,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you're like, oh, that was a great film. Because
Right. Yeah.
your key takeaway was like, I didn't focus on, wait, the lighting here
Mm-hmm.
or what is this happening? Or
Mm-hmm.
the actor was, so
Yeah.
you're like, I'm just soaked into like
Mm-hmm.
just the process and kind of seeing that through.
Yeah. Totally.
Um, what was the biggest challenge on your short?
My short film.
Yeah,
So my short film is a father and son story. It
yeah,
takes place on water, like on a river, like a tidal river. So everything's changing, and it's just really hard to shoot in water, especially with no budget. It's just everything takes 10 times longer. Like
yeah.
you get to ready to start your take, and the water's moving and they're drifting. Oh, we got to reset. Oh, now we're ready to go. Now plane's flying over. Oh, hold. Everything's moving all the time. So it's just brutal just to get like a take done. It
Yeah.
was just such a hard kind of
And
place
you're
to play on.
shooting on land. I'm sure you're good
I
at
was shooting.
rigging,
I was
so you
shooting
had
on
it.
water. Like sometimes on. It was like these two characters on a canoe.
Yes.
Sometimes the camera's on the canoe with them.
Mm-hmm.
Other times it's shooting from like a kayak that's filming back at the canoe. So we're both moving. It's got like a little trolling motor to keep it going, and it was
Whoa.
just We like had actors fall in the water. It was not
For
easy.
real.
Yeah, yeah. You were nice enough. Let us use your walkies. One of your walkies went in the water. I lost a matte box in the water with 3 filters in it. Like it was. Yeah, it was not easy.
That's, and how was it like working with kids too?
Uh, it's
Kid actors.
it's hard to answer just because the water makes everything so hard that I really didn't feel like I had a space where I could be
Oh.
like intimately working with them. Like on land, we would rehearse and go through, and that part was awesome. But then like take the take, I was just like, I was just so stressed out all the time. It's just like hoping no one's gonna fall in. That
Oh,
this isn't the last day of my camera. Like
oh
all these
man.
things. So it was a hard space to work in. Yeah, to just to work closely with actors and like
I
yeah
give you respect because you still finished it.
yeah
And
it's
it's on the
almost
latter
finished.
day.
Yeah,
Almost finished?
I still have to do the color correction on it, but
Well, it's been in festivals, right?
it's
You've
it's played a
submitted in a
few.
couple
Yeah, I was like hoping it would get into like sort of like a middle tier festival. I was gonna use that as motivation
to
to
finish.
to like finish color correction for real.
So what is right now? What is the pass that you're at right now?
It's played at like 5 festivals, but mostly
Okay.
like local. One in Canada, but I was just kind of like looking. I was looking for one of these to like just to re-excite me to finish it.
And
Because
this is just the
like
color finish. Like what
color
is
like sound design's done. It's lock cut. It's finished in that regard.
as a cinematographer, and I'm curious on this, is like your color you're saying is not completely finished. Is this
It's
something that the audience would notice, or is it just you who will notice?
it's in a very like unfinished. Yeah, I think they would. From what it will be to what it is now, you would notice a difference.
You notice the
I'm
difference.
sure a lot of people see it now and be like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
But for me, it's not. Like I wanted to, especially as a DP, I wanted to look a
Gonna
certain way.
pop the colors
Yeah.
and everything. That is, yeah.
Also, because you're shooting on the water, it's like, especially we saw in the winter, like there'll be clouds and then the sun will pass. But I literally can't physically
You can't.
get to the camera, so I can't change the stop. Or changing an ND filter could be the difference of getting a take or not.
Mm-hmm.
So some takes would just run overexposed or underexposed. It's just because it comes down to like, is this thing gonna get shot or not? Because it was just like there's like a kayak and there's like this speed rail tower we built off the back with a gimbal hanging off it, floating over the water. Like the water's here and the camera's like this. And we're in the middle of this like tidal river and a cloud comes like, oh God.
And you've cut so many times, hold for clouds.
Yeah.
Now you're like, you know what, just
No,
go.
no, I'm just like, it's fine. It's like,
fine, just go.
it's definitely like in a safe place. It's not like wildly over or under, but it needs to be dealt with. So
If you were to do anything different, what would you do on this film? Like now with the challenges that you went through shooting on water.
probably not do it in the winter.
Okay. Winter's out.
Probably do it in the fall, I
Okay.
think. Yeah. Because I had so many canceled days because of rains, and then it was sort of a severe winter, and like there were times where my little calm rivers became like rushing whitewater rapids, had to cancel everything. Yeah. I wish I was able to raise some money for it, you
Okay.
know, just so I could like pay people more and like get more support. Yeah.
How do you fundraise for a film?
That's a great
climate.
question. I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I just like, in this, I just like begged for a lot of favors and had a lot of my film family help me out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's
And paid whatever it costs myself, But I did it as like as economical as possible. I like lost a map box. That's a bad one.
Yeah.
I got fined by a ranger $1,000 because I had pulled permits saying it was a documentary. The permits were like $100.
okay.
But then like the proper permits are like $1,000. The ranger stopped by and goes, "This doesn't look like a documentary to me."
Really?
Yeah.
It's a feature doc, man.
Yeah.
It's like a polished
It's a
doc.
reenactment scene.
They didn't go for it.
No. Yeah.
He must have had film
So-
background to
So
figure
that's some
that out.
unexpected expenses,
And he actually just find you and was like,
Yeah, I got like a call later that week, Oh
wow.
Yeah.
At least you pulled a permit. You didn't.
Yeah. I
Ask
was
for
like, I didn't want
forgiveness.
it's just too risky to have it all get shut down. So
That's a good point.
yeah.
That's cool though. That's
Yeah.
going to be a good one.
Yeah. My next project is not on the water. I'll
No?
say that much. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were like, I've figured out the water.
I do feel like I actually have a good approach for water,
Hey.
but not with no budget.
Not with no budget. Yeah, no. Hey, it's like, no, but it's all these things I think are experiences and tools we had, right? Because you find yourself in a different shoot and you're like, oh no, I wouldn't go that way. I would go this way as, on someone else's project or your future projects. You're like, now I have the experience. That's why I don't do it as much as I used to, but I loved shorts because of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I always use it as a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was always a key takeaway from it.
Always,
Like,
yeah.
it's like, okay, now I know maybe not to push it that way, or
Mm-hmm.
let me see how far I can push this,
Mm-hmm.
so that at least on the next one I know what my balance is gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you were talking about color. I was like, we did a short film recently. Was it recent? Yeah, it might be recent. But it just screened. Man, the color was awful.
Oh yeah.
I was like, man. But that's the difference, right? I commend them for finishing and I can't be mad at it.
Mhm.
But it was like, usually you finish the edit and then you come back, you're like, okay, now we're on color.
Yeah.
But
I know I always like plead with. I'm like, please keep you updated on the color.
I know. I
'Cause
try
it's
to.
like
but it was
the last step. Let's take the last step together. It's
because it's like, yeah, just draw me in. If it's something, sometimes I feel like even just like, I don't mind eating up the cost on it
Mhm.
just to make it look good. If you're like, that's your finish line,
Mhm.
but at least you finish something.
Mhm.
But yeah, you look at it, you're like, man.
Mhm.
But people love it. That's the other part.
Mhm.
You're like, I don't know, man. I wouldn't show that to anyone. It's like, because you're like, you can see the potential of it. Like when you were shooting it, you're like, these are the colors, this is the lighting that you have. You have a look that in your mind, this is how it's going to look when you finish it.
Yeah.
And, and it makes sense because unless you have that conversation, especially with directors who hire editors who are like, I can color.
Mhm.
You're like, no, you're an editor.
Mhm.
Like, there's a colorist who's
Yes. Yeah.
good at doing that.
Yeah.
But if you're editor, and not to say that some of them are not,
Mhm.
but if you're just an editor who says you can color, yeah, for corporate is there. But for like a short film or like narrative, I feel like this is someone who
Yeah.
has the eye and is focused on
Right.
that kind
And
of
the
stuff.
instinct and the sensibilities. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes it can be expensive, but I think it's also conversation, right?
Yeah.
Like just having that. The feature is shot in in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
That one, at least with the director, we had a conversation. I was like,
Mm.
this has to go to like a
Mm-hmm.
colorist, not,
Yeah.
and you can see the difference in terms
Right.
of like having that conversation with the colorist, sending you, and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is what I see. Can we be able to
Mm-hmm.
work on this? So,
Right. Yeah.
but yeah,
I think it's like boils down to like putting intention behind it, you know? It's
yes.
like versus just being like, oh, here's a LUT I'll slap on it or something.
And it doesn't work across the board.
Yeah.
And it's usually like you're at the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
You're right at the finish
Yeah.
line.
Like people are just so ready to be done.
That's what it is.
Just like
It's like you can tell they're like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm finished. And you're
mm-hmm.
like, I think that's where we count because that's now where our work
Mm-hmm.
is. The story is perfect. It's
Mm-hmm.
done. But that's where we count, where we're like, now this is where our work can be seen,
Mm-hmm.
right? With that
Yeah.
color grade.
Yeah.
But no, it's a journey. Is there, so there was one thing that you were doing when you were still working and coming up was you'd work here and then you'd work outside the country.
Mm.
What was the strategy towards that?
What do you mean by does it mean
You're
just
working in France and making films in France. What was the because right now you have these conversations, but I want to hear your take on it of being in the US as a cinematographer
mm-hmm.
and getting more opportunities when you work outside the country.
Mm-hmm.
Like was there a strategy towards you doing those type of projects?
Yeah.
Or what is your thought process?
I mean, like I think I've just always been into like European cinema a lot.
Yes.
Like the art house stuff. So I'm
Yes.
just always like wanting to kind of create opportunities for myself there. So I was just like that film I did in France. It was like I was like literally looking on Craigslist Paris at crew calls. Yeah. And I saw some. They're like, well, you're in America. I was like, well, I mean, like, what if I worked as a local and I slept on the floor of the producer's house there for 4 weeks? And
You have
did
a
that.
floor trend, Jason.
Yes, there's been too many times.
It's been too many times.
Yeah,
You're a camper.
Yeah, so like pursue, look for those opportunities and try to like open those doors for that. So yeah, and I mean like I like adventure too. Like just so like a lot of times going to other places and working with crews from around the world, it's exciting.
Do you see it as a way of someone trying to make it? And there I'm phrasing this question is we exist, we're close to Hollywood, we're close to LA, or just being in the US, it's a saturated market, right? Everyone trying to join the ASCO, everyone trying to make it to that next step. Do you see opportunities of working your way still here, but having a access point to grow when you're working outside the country?
I mean, I always like hope for that. I haven't found that. Like I've tried to like break into like shooting in France more specifically, but I think it's a pretty hard place to get legs in.
Why is that? Why do you think so?
I think it's just that they have their own industry, which is, I'm sure it's probably similar to here, where it feels like saturated to them. So as an outsider, they're not that interested in you being there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's just I've reached out to people and tried to get conversations started, and I'm on this like email list of like films that are looking for crew calls in France or other places in Europe, and I'll apply to them sometimes, but like just the distance is too much.
Okay.
Also, I don't have status to work there, so it's like it gets complicated, and they're not interested in complicated,
No, they just want to chill.
Yeah. I have this like fantasy of being able to work abroad more, but it just hasn't really happened much.
How was your experience doing working with the crew there when you worked?
In Europe? Or
in Europe.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I've worked with crews in different countries, and it's so cool how everyone works differently. Like in France, they have like my experience, they had like a smaller lighting team, but a bigger art team.
Okay.
And they just took their time with things. Like they moved a lot slower than us.
Who? The art or the lighting?
No, just the French.
Everyone.
The French crews.
Yeah.
But it was nice because it was a better environment. Like we here we rush through everything all the time.
Yes.
On that film, everyone's paid by the government like a living wage. And so they have to approve like
really?
Yeah, it's a program called intermittent, and it's like they have to acquire a certain amount of hours per 6 months to stay on the benefits program.
Okay.
So like as director, like you're like, I want to make this movie. You
Yeah.
have all these people coming to you because they want to get their hours, but you're
Huh.
not paying them. And I think that's why, like in Europe, you see a lot more kind of art stuff, like less commercially focused films.
Hmm.
And this is like on a small, like very indie kind of project in France. This is not like how it is on bigger films, I'm sure.
Okay. So
But there's
they're not working for free. These
they're not no, they're being
government
paid
is still
by the
getting
government,
paying you.
but they're being held accountable to the hours they need to prove
Okay.
to
And
show that they're like working artists. It's not just for film; it's like artists in general.
so your speed is like, you're gonna take
Yeah, so
5 days.
they're taking their time, and like it was just like a nice. It was just so nice. I was like, oh, this is cool. Like you could do like meaningful work here.
Yeah, America, you'd be doing
Yeah,
5 films
versus
in
like
that 3 weeks.
I mean, there were times there was like it's driving me crazy. I'm like, oh my god, we could have shot
we could
this.
have
We
shot
could have
this
shot.
already.
What took 2 days in a morning in California.
And
So
the
there's a
art
balance there. I
there's
think
a
it's like
balance.
there's pros and cons.
I
And
love
then
that they had a big art department though.
yeah, like they had more like literally waiting on paint to dry on the walls.
No way.
Yeah, because they're like texturing the walls, but the frames look amazing. So just they have their priorities in different places.
That's cool.
Yeah, they have like wine on the craft service table, like, and it's just people are very like one day there wasn't wine on the table and there's a big drama. Like the whole crew was like very upset about that. They felt it very disrespectful that there was no wine on the table.
What?
Yeah, it's like oh cool, this is different,
This is different.
different here.
Wait, so you end the shoot after what? 6 hours if people are drinking wine or
Yeah,
craft services
we did
through
like
the
8
day?
to 10 hour days. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
with
then
wine you
but
got
the wines there
lunch.
just like just on the craft service table.
Yeah, we grew up drinking wine, I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't like taboo or anything.
That's
Yeah,
that's interesting.
yeah. And I worked with some crews in Asia before, and they were just like so amazing. Like I worked on a shoot in Thailand, and my gaffer he had worked on the Hangover movies, and he just had all these amazing stories. And yeah, they were just so cool.
Out of all of them, is there any one that the two are probably your best, or is there any other one that you'd be like, yeah, I worked over here and this was the best experience ever? Is there any other?
Like countries, you mean?
Yeah, countries.
When I worked on the documentary in Colombia, I was like, I fell in love with Colombia. So I was like, that's an amazing place.
I would love to visit Colombia.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite places. Yeah, I've been to. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a different level, I think. I'm always amazed, like, it's type of projects over here. I think it's the bigger the project. Now you're able to have, like, the art department, the set design and all that. Like, it's not as frequent on probably the projects that I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
But when you work on a film and whatever, and they actually staff that, it always feels good.
Yeah. Right.
It's like you're able to change anything or adjust anything, when we were doing the Nigerian project, they had the same thing, right? Like they value, like they value it, and also it's available, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they would build sets on the day, even
Right.
though there was a whole no rush on time. But
It's like a can-do attitude.
yeah, they all
Yeah.
can do. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, what if, you're talking to the production, so what if we had like a specific color or whatever or pattern, or these are the colors we're going for. The guy will go to the market and buy this stuff and come in.
Yeah, things
He
like
had the tailor.
happen, yeah.
I was like, this is cool. Here
Yeah.
will be, and I know why here it's harder because it'll be costing an arm and a leg to do. Over there, it's a little bit less. But like the amount of artwork that you're able to get, it's like we had a scene, a fashion show, which was it was an empty room, and they put like, we were like, okay, the director wanted mirrors after mirror after mirror with like lower colors and all that, like a full wardrobe. And everyone was dressed. It's like, it's not that, it wasn't, of course there's dollar value to it, but the fact that you can be able to get that, it's not as expensive as it would be here. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
That the crafts like a tailor and all those people doing this work still exists.
Right,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
That was, I did appreciate that.
Yeah,
I think that's
that's so
one of the
cool.
values, because you're working with them, and like some of the things you want to hide the light, or you want to hide something. Like they're able to work to kind of figure that out.
They'll
And
build
make
something.
They build something
Yeah.
that just
Yeah.
goes over there. I'm like, damn,
Yeah,
I do enjoy that.
yeah, that is cool.
But yeah, here, on my end, we're not that level of a feature like
Mm-hmm.
you can get that budget to do
Mm-hmm.
it. I'm not done any of that in the US.
Right. Right.
Half of them is like indie, and you're
Mm-hmm.
working with people trying to put people together.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that was a good experience.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so it's what are you currently working on?
Currently working on. Did a few. I recently had a baby 2 months ago, so I slowed things down. Yeah.
Congratulations!
Yeah.
Congratulations!
So work wise is like trying to find that balance right now,
Mm.
and then so I did a few commercials since he's been born. Yeah, I've got a couple of short films next year that are supposed to happen.
Okay,
We'll see.
we'll see.
We'll see until there's a date on the calendar.
That's
Yeah.
true. How do you balance fatherhood or parenthood, being a parent, and the work that we do? Because it's not a consistent schedule, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you balance that?
Yeah. That's like the challenge of the day,
Yeah.
I mean, fortunately, I think being freelance is like it opens like a ton of doors where I'm around a lot, probably more than a lot of people get to be with their
Mm.
kids.
Yeah, that's true.
But then when you're working, it's just so unstable, and like drop off times or pickups, and like trying to work it out. Sometimes I'll bring my 4-year-old on location scouts with me
Okay.
to maybe not such an approving audience, but like this, I just try to include whenever I can include him. I can.
Yeah.
And I worked on a feature last fall where half of it I was camping in a tent, and he came up and camped with me in the little crew campground for a while, and he just had a blast. He still talks about it to this
Oh,
day.
really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
He's like, I want to go back to that film circus again.
Film circus? You guys filming a circus?
And then, film crew kind of looks like a circus, really. I mean, it's like we come, we set up all our tents, we put on our lights and put up a big show, and then we're gone. It was like we were never there.
I like
So,
that though.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's an accurate representation of the
Yeah,
film
like
circus.
actually, Dave Mung Gaffer,
Yeah.
he's the one who first like explained. He explained it like we're like a traveling circus. All the carnies come to town, and we put on this big show, and then we're gone. And I was like, oh, it's the perfect way to describe it. So yeah, so my son was like so into it.
That's kind of cool
So
though.
I try to bring him when I can,
Okay.
and then since it doesn't necessarily work out, so like when I prep gear or I'm doing stuff, like he's always in the garage with me and like helping me get ready, and he likes to pack my car. So
Oh, he
I do
does.
all that stuff.
Throw 1 or 2 things in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll just like throw cases in, or I'll see him holding a lens. I'm like, oh God, please
Please
just like
don't
don't
drop it.
just hand it to me.
Have you-
And if you start chasing him, then he wants to run with it. So I try to play it cool, and I just snatch it from him like that.
It's like stop.
Yeah.
It's gotta be safe. It's like
Yeah.
a bomb. You're like, no,
Yeah.
don't let it go.
Yeah.
No, that's and does he understand what you do? Or what is his understanding of what you do other than the circus part, which is
Yeah,
amazing?
I wonder what he thinks. Yeah. I mean, he's like seen like my River movie, like
What-
probably more times than anyone else outside of me has seen it.
What
So
is
he knows
Daddy
like all the
doing?
lines in it and everything, which is like not awesome because there's some bad language in that movie. But yeah, so, I think he gets a sense of it.
What does
Yeah.
he like when he says you're going to work? What does he say?
He always
Dad is going
he's
to do.
always like, oh, what's the movie you're making? You know,
okay,
he thinks
okay.
he thinks everything is a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he
Yep.
like asks what it's about, and I try to explain. It's funny when it's like something really not interesting. I'll just be like, oh, it's not that
It's
interesting.
not that. It's just people sitting talking.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No.
And how about for you?
it's-
What's that balance like?
It's the same. It's like,
Mm.
And that's the beauty of it. Like for us, we have, if we're not on set, which is, we can't change that,
Mm-hmm.
but we also have flexibility in our schedules,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of cool too, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, a teacher or someone calls and you need to be here, or
Mm-hmm.
they're not able to go to school, or they need this done, or they need to
Mhm.
go for a doctor's appointment. It's easy for us to just like jump in and be able to do that
Mm-hmm.
because we don't have that consistent schedule, other than on the days that we have shoots.
Right. Yeah.
If it falls on a shoot date, now that's when you have to figure out what's what.
Mm-hmm.
But also figure out it's not like this, not to downplay the shoots, but the shoot is not that important,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like priority is the family 1st
Mhm.
and then the project,
Mm-hmm.
right? The fact that I'm not able to be there, I should not feel stressed about it. I was
Mhm.
like, you know what? if this is the priorities, like what do they need first,
Mm-hmm.
and then this other thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, it might never happen again or whatever. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, no, but this moment is more important to me.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, they help prioritize life a little bit.
Yeah. Right.
You know, and just watching them grow, you're like, okay, this is a human
Mm-hmm.
who's looking up to me and kind of trying to learn
Mm-hmm.
how to operate in the world, right? So there's that priority of like, this, you're important and this is work. So,
Yeah.
but our schedule being a little flexible, I think it helps, which is good, for especially if both parties have a flexible schedule, or one has a constant schedule and
Mm-hmm.
one has a flexible.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it work, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
the constant is there because ours is an unknown, right?
Mm-hmm.
You might have 3 weeks out of town on a project.
Uh-huh. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, okay, at least there's a constant there. So
Yeah.
it works out, depending on
Yeah.
how the home works,
Mm-hmm.
right? But yeah, like, I think that dance is important. I've brought them here to the office, sometimes, and it's that, like, they
Mm-hmm.
just play around.
Mm-hmm.
They understand that what we do is like, oh, you're making a movie or filming,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I try and kind of teach them that as we go, just
Yeah,
exactly
cool.
what that work is,
Yeah.
And the advantage for us is the mom has a cooking show,
Mm.
so we shoot at the house, so they've seen the cameras
Yeah,
and the whole
cool.
set,
Yeah.
like, being built in the house and
Mm-hmm.
then being torn down and leave.
Mm-hmm.
So that part, at least they have a sense of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I think it's exciting for them,
It
see
is.
cameras and all that, and yeah,
the suckers is in town. We
and
bring
meeting
it to
the
the
crew
house.
and everything, and
Yeah,
film people are often fun,
film
kind of
people,
really cool
they're
people.
always
So
passion. Everyone is passion driven, just being
Yeah.
on set, right? But yeah, congratulations on the new one.
oh, thanks. Yeah, yeah,
Getting some sleep now, or still?
yeah, yeah. You could say that.
You say, hey, the second one, at least you've done it the first
Yeah,
time and
yeah. You just figure out that flow.
figure out the. But no, it's a beautiful journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
It is. No, so one of the last few questions as we wind down, I was gonna ask you on what do you think of the future of of our industry?
Future of the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the question
And
of the
with
moment.
the AI, are you messing around with it?
Messing around with it. I have ways of answering that.
Please answer in any way available.
Well, I recently did a shoot where it was like kind of after the fact. There was like this shot that was discussed that they needed, but we've already shot. So they used AI to make the shot. And then I was like, oh man, I cannot let AI win this.
Okay.
So I convinced the director, I'm like, I will go out for free and reshoot this exact shot and make this happen just so we keep it all real.
Okay.
The AI shot looked decent, but there was still something wrong about it.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I looked at it, and then I
Yeah.
realized, oh, in this universe there are two suns. There was a sun in the background and a sun on the side, so the shadows was like all
Oh, the
over the
shadows
place.
all over.
And I'm sure that could have been fixed, but I was just like, I used that as like my motivation to be like, I was like, we've got to reshoot this thing. We cannot let the machine win this battle.
Can't let the machine. Was it a commercial, a feature, or
That
what is it?
was a commercial.
Oh, commercial. Oh, so they,
Yeah, like yeah. So so we just, and I brought my son with me
Uh-huh.
because this was like a volunteer situation.
Yeah.
It took about half a day, so it was a driving shot. So I had him help me rig the camera on a gimbal off the back of a car. We're shooting from one car to the other, and he sat in the back seat. And he like really liked the commercial, had like a puppet in it, and so he was just like, the whole time we're shooting, I was like, oh, you gotta look really hard for the puppet. And I rigged a monitor for him in his car seat, so he's watching the shot.
Okay.
And I had hand wheels to operate the shot with. And so
Okay.
the big drama was that he wanted to spin the wheels. And every
Oh.
time we did another take, he goes, this is my turn, Dad.
This is my turn.
turn
You're
now."
like, no, I'm
It's like,
trying
oh my God. So like, so it made the day a little bit longer.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just a
That was
situation.
fun.
I was like, let's go do this thing. But here's the thing. I've got my 4-year-old with me.
We're gonna do it.
So yeah.
That's cool. So
So,
the
yeah, so
machine
anyways,
didn't win.
Yeah, so that tried to keep one for the human team.
That's a good one.
I'm not like anti AI, but I'm not like super excited about it.
What are your overall thoughts? On it? Like the
I mean, like I see there's certain post tools like rotoscoping and stuff like that.
yes,
It's like
yes,
awesome, right? Like, is that a great use of human life force to be drawing a million little dots frame by frame?
mm-hmm.
But to replace like entire shots, like I don't know. For me, I'm not like obviously not excited about that.
That's true.
Yeah, but on the other side, it's doing things that are so amazing and so different that I think what I'm excited about is that it will push the human craft to do new things that it can't do or can't do yet. So I'm hoping it impacts art in a way that it's pushing us in new ways to try different things.
True.
Yeah, like different types of shooting, different types of maybe story structure, anything, you know?
Do you think there's a point where there'll be full AI that you can sit down and watch a whole film?
Oh, for sure, that's coming. I mean, I'm sure there'll be like shows where it's like starring Roy, like yourself, right? Going on some amazing adventure, you know? And it's going to have a show tailored just for you. Like that's definitely not far away.
Say that
But
more. Say that last part is very interesting.
about what? About a
The
show that's
tailoring
yeah,
shows to the person.
I'm
Are
sure. You'll
you
probably like
looking at it like what you want to see in a
yeah,
way?
like oh, you like adventure shows, you like romance comedies, like yeah. I think it's not long before these types of shows exist where it's something like that. Though I do think there'll be sort of a backlash. Kind of in a way like Kodak has made a huge comeback with film.
Mm-hmm.
Like for sure you don't need to be shooting film at this point,
No.
you know, but people are like so in love with the idea of it. There's like this nostalgia behind it.
Yeah.
It has its look and people really desire that. So I think maybe the next step of that will be like, you know, human made films. Like
Yes.
you'll do something totally handmade to be counter that, you know?
Yeah.
And I think there'll be an appreciation for it and hopefully that will sustain us
Hopefully.
long
Yeah,
enough.
because like like you watch a film and you watch the characters and you watch the people and the connection and all that, and yeah, it might be proven wrong down the line, but I still feel like there's an avenue that I still appreciate watching.
Mm-hmm.
Just the human connection of like just in movies.
Yeah.
You know, but again, with all these things, they'll figure out where they fall in place, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna exist 100%,
Mm-hmm.
right? But they're gonna have a home, right?
Right.
Um, and there you go, the human made. I've heard a lot about that, right? It's like
Yeah.
AI made, human made. Now it's gonna
Right.
be. It's like when you say true story or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes that tag that
Mm-hmm.
you're like, okay, all this film was human made.
Yeah, maybe they'll have like a certification like fair trade coffee. It'll be like
That's exactly what it's
human
gonna
made
be
film.
at
Yeah.
the end. You're like,
Yeah.
process this one. Did you use any AI or to what level?
Right.
Because it's gonna
Yeah.
be fine tuned when you say, did you use any AI? It's like
Right.
exactly for the tools,
Yeah.
like rotoscoping.
Yeah, if it's like removing like a boom that's in the shot or
Yeah.
something, like I don't
But
have
we've
any
done that in the movies when
issues for
you
that.
extend a whole arena,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
That was additional people
Mm-hmm.
that are just being replicated. Now
Mm-hmm.
you can do that with AI with just one
Right.
tool
Yeah.
and build a whole full arena
Yeah.
in a shorter duration of time.
I mean, I've seen a lot of people use it too for like concepting, you know, like in boards and making pitch
Yes.
decks and things like that, which I
Yes.
have mixed feelings about too.
Okay.
Just
Why
because
is that?
sometimes I feel like I'm like curious, like who is coming up with these ideas, right? Like I want to work with a filmmaker who has something to say and some ideas, not just a prompt of cool bar scene, you
Okay.
know, a cool shot at cool bar, and then what does it give you? And you get this like sometimes I see these things on these pitch decks and there's like dramatic imagery. I'm like, well, that's interesting. Like, tell me more about how you got to that prompt. You know, it seems very vague the answers, I guess sometimes. And
It's
then I end up being like, you start to become like a 3D printer of sorts for the AI. Like we're like executing the shot that was created, that was conceptualized by a computer, you know, and that I don't love.
I see. Yeah, I think the fine point of understanding, are you looking at it as a framing or are you looking at it as you want this exact shot?
Right. But
The
sometimes people,
mood and all those kind of levels now
yeah,
when you start digging into it, it becomes a whole.
yeah. But I think the trick is like, you know, like especially with commercials, like it goes through this whole approvals process. It's often edited
That's
by
the
a committee.
painful. Yeah.
So now you got 10 people have all been looking at this shot
And
at
they
this
expect that
bar
shot now.
with this cool like cameras mounted to the wine glass as it moves through the bar and like swoops around and like lands at this lady at the corner and she takes this, you know, a drink, and then the peanuts fall on the floor or something, whatever, like a very specific thing
Yeah.
that was uh, that also all these 10 people want to have that because that's all been approved. But where is the genesis of that idea? Sometimes it's just from like a very broad prompt,
And is it achievable? Because someone has to come in on a technical aspect
Yeah,
to be like,
and I've been in
this is not real.
yeah,
Like, in reality, that wouldn't happen
yeah,
that way.
yeah. And I've been in situations where it's like a shot that is so technically way out of the league of what the budget of the project is to pull off. Like this is like a very dramatic thing that requires a lot of.
Like,
It could involve like chainsawing a car apart or something to get the camera in a certain place. You know,
to run it
it's
through the
not going to
car.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible, but it just costs a lot of money.
That's a
So
good
it's
point.
like
The physics of it. I think whoever figures that out is like on the AI, especially when you say you're storyboarding, gives you an estimate of how much it would cost
oh right,
to
yeah,
actually make that
right,
image
yeah.
work in real life.
Yeah, as a comparison.
As a
AI
comparison,
$20,
$20.
production $20,000.
So you have to think about it. Can you what's your budget?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because
Mm-hmm.
it can be done. Anything is possible. It's
Yeah.
just like, what tools do you need in real life to actually
Yeah.
make them?
Yeah,
I don't know if you're fighting for the case for us to work more.
yeah.
You're giving it to AI now for $20.
Right, I know. Yes.
No, but it's is there any tool or anything that's exciting you or you're using in your craft right now?
Any tools right now? 3D printers.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be able to make parts like I talked about, like early on, like gluing a matte box together out of parts from tap plastics, to now where people share files and you could print that thing, or make a one-off part that you need for something,
Yeah.
or design custom rigs to do things you couldn't do before, or you would have to machine and it would take ages, you know, especially having a kid too. Like, because I have a pretty significant machining background where
Yes.
I used to disappear for like days on a machining project. Now I can draw it like a technical drawing, give it to the printer, and I get to play with my 4-year-old and hang out while it's printing for 12 hours. And the next morning, wake up and I always bring him down and he pulls it off the printer. And we're like, he doesn't know what he's looking at, you
Yeah.
know, but it's pretty fun for him. So like that, to me, that's like such an incredible tool, is the printer.
You made this light box that you're putting on the lens on you're playing with at the house.
Like this
The
kaleidoscope thing.
kaleidoscope. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've shot something with it, right? A music video?
I had a documentary where they wanted to have this like kaleidoscope effect.
Okay.
I was like, oh, that sounds like a cool challenge. So yeah, designed this thing on the Fusion 360 and printed it. And it spins, it's motorized, connects to a follow focus, like lens gears. The other day I was on a shoot where we rented lenses, and the lens front, I looked it up and the Google AI told me it was a certain lens front, and that was not true. It was wrong.
Okay.
I didn't have the front, and there was
Yeah.
no prep day. So like the night before, I printed a adapter, you know. So it's pretty cool.
That was cool though. We did that shoot together and you printed.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
you printed it for me.
Yeah, that was the second time I've done it. The first time was
You're like,
this other
what?
one.
It's like, what do you need? I was like, this is a front size.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I don't have my matte box
Yeah.
doesn't have that
Yeah.
size. I was like, I'll print something for you.
Yeah, because I had just done it a week before. Yeah.
Hey, it's the tools are becoming accessible, which is kind of
Yeah.
cool. Like,
And then there's like AI parts of that too, where like it's helping you like interpret
true.
ideas, which I have no problems with. Like, I don't particularly want to be on a computer moving little points and designing things that take, you know, tens of hours when I can do it in an hour.
Yeah.
You know,
that's pretty good.
if the idea is there. So
No, that's a beautiful thing. Any advice that you have for anyone coming into the industry?
like right now,
Like
in this
right now.
current climate. Yeah.
If you say it that way. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
right now.
I think what's exciting is like the access to all these cool tools. Like,
True.
like now you have access to cameras that look really great. And you don't have to spend a ton to get it. Like as we're like when we were getting started, it's like very difficult to, you know, with these adapters and like the HVX with the lens adapter on it. Remember the image was like upside down
It was upside
and
down.
mirrored?
Yeah.
And I used to operate backwards. I developed this bad habit where if I turn the screen slightly, it'd put it in like wasn't even called selfie mode at the time, but like self
It's
shooting
like a
mode.
half flip. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would like operate backwards, the camera's face that way. I developed terrible habits that I had to unlearn for years. You know, now like it's like the iPhone looks pretty great,
I
or
know.
that Nikon.
Yeah.
Like that's a small red
Form
camera,
factors.
full frame, high like shoots in low light scenarios. So I think it's like getting a tool,
Yeah,
and like it's just like I like to equate stuff to music a lot. Um, like you can't be a great musician without playing your instrument. It's
that's
like you
true.
got to practice.
That's true.
So I think it's just like a lot of practice and figuring out what you're passionate about. Like if it's lighting, camera, directing, producing.
That's a good approach.
Yeah.
Um, One question, you've been in different projects. What is your process, especially for films, right? You receive a script from a director or
Mm.
writer. How do you break it down to get to the point of filming it? Like, what's your thought process there?
Uh, I like to do like pretty regular meetings with the director. It
Mm-hmm.
could be like depending on what the timeline is. Like, could be like once a week, and like just be like, we're doing just these scenes, and we just exhaustively talk about it. I use like an iPad. I have like Apple Pencil, and I use a color for my ideas, a color for their ideas, and like just take a ton of notes and just kind of create like a running document, and then through that sort of figure out our visual structure. And then, but I think for me, the key thing is I always like ask like, what is this scene about? Even if it's obvious, I want to hear them tell me, you know,
Yeah.
because if you can like say that and always remind yourself while you're shooting, like, oh, this is about like her struggle right now, like if you could anchor the scene around making sure that's clear, that's the approach. I've even gotten to points where it's like I try to write a poem per scene,
Huh.
because then it's like poetry is like the most visual form of language, and if you can take that scene and turn it into just like a haiku or something,
Yeah.
you've really broken it down to like the heart of what it's about,
Interesting.
yeah, in a visual way. So that, yeah, anyways, that's my. I don't always do that. Like I like the idea of doing that.
Yeah.
These days it's such a shortage of time,
But
but
like, I want to start
but that's
shooting.
what I aim for.
Okay.
Try to create a space where I can do some of that.
And how do you use color? How do you work on, okay, you have an idea of what you think it is, and you also have the idea for the director. How do you balance those two?
I mean, when the ideas are at odds with each
Yeah.
other, I feel like oftentimes it sort of comes to a head in the blocking rehearsal,
Mm-hmm.
and the actors usually solve that problem.
Okay.
Like when I see it, and then they see it, and then it's often something that neither of us really thought about. It's like, oh, like they're not going to stand in that doorway. They're like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to go over there
Yeah.
and then do that thing.
That's,
And so it's just like kind of, yeah, to me, it's like we could talk a lot, and that's just to kind of figure out the general approach, but really the shot comes to life in the blocking rehearsal.
communication.
Mm-hmm.
No, no, I appreciate it. This has been really good. Like,
Yeah.
just learning, just the processes that you use and the tools that you use. And, we're definitely living in a different time, right? Like, than
Mm-hmm.
when we were coming up. There's more access to tools.
Mm-hmm.
But also I feel like the tools that are coming out, like the FX3, FX30, the Nikon, it
Mm-hmm.
feels like we're going back to the rigging
A
days.
little bit, yeah. I
Right?
know, yeah.
It's like we went. Now we have full EVFs, like,
Mm-hmm.
well-built cameras, and then now we're kind of unwinding that and going into like smaller form factor. But you look at those rigs again, you're now building it out to make it into a cinema camera
Right,
when you need
yeah.
to,
Yeah.
it's, I miss those days, but
Right.
like every
Yeah.
tool has its job in terms of like how simple can I stay,
Mm-hmm.
and if you keep it small, it makes sense. Like with the gimbals,
Right. Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah. Well, some of these new cameras have like image stabilization built into the sensor and everything. It's like, that's pretty cool.
it's pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm yet to test this camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just got it to test it and kind of see how it works. But you just bought one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I have a Nikon as my scout camera. And when I learned about that, I was like, I'm going to sell that, get this, and kind of upgrade.
That makes sense.
So
So
I've wanted a small camera to take for like more experimental shooting, and you know, just to be small, keep it small. Like I don't want to build a whole rig around it and make it into something it's not.
You got a PL on it?
I have a
Adapter?
PL. I have all that. I have a PL from my Nikon Z6, which was my scout camera. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
cool. Like
that's
all the
cool.
same batteries, same mounts. All,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
So just what made you want to go to it, to this Nikon Red
Well, I think it
partnership?
was more of like family stuff, really, for home movies.
Really?
Yeah, just to like, so I could like, oh, like I got it and just was like filming my son decorate the Christmas tree. You know,
Mm.
so it's like, oh, this is because like, I always find I never film any family stuff because it's just such a to do with a proper size camera.
Yeah.
It's like,
Being
oh, I have
to
to go in
your
the
house, you
garage.
filming with a red.
Yeah, right. Yeah, to go down there and put a lens on it, put a matte box on it, get some filters, hook up a microphone. It's like too
Jesus.
much, you
Yeah.
know. It's just like I just want to have something that's just like on a countertop, and I just pull it out and just and not be precious about it.
A lot of people use phones, Jason.
Yeah, right.
You're
My
like,
phone is full. I have no space on it. None of my apps work.
no, that's the challenge. Like, yeah, you go through a lot of these cameras. Now I'm just back on my phone. It's
Yeah.
like, uh, it's easier. You know what I
Mm.
mean? It's like I'm photographing them doing some activity and
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but yeah, you run out of space. That's what it is.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but yeah, the cameras are getting smaller, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
I feel
also,
like
it's
it's
like,
kind of a great fit. It's like right in between it. You know, it's not a proper camera, and it's more than a phone.
it is. It is. I want to test it and kind of see, you
Mm-hmm.
know, how it looks and just the idea that you're getting all the red features,
Mm-hmm.
you know, into this kind of size, and you can use it
Yeah.
as a B cam or something else,
Yeah. Totally.
C cam
Yeah.
in the shot.
Mm-hmm.
So no, is there anything else that is worth sharing from your experience
I
to
don't
the
know.
future
Yeah, I feel like
generation?
we covered a lot of ground.
We did, we
I
did.
think one thing we talked about, which I think is important, is like timing. I think for
True.
like in a camera operating to cinematography, it's like all about timing. And like I always like think back to music and equating it to music.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just feel like having I don't know. I feel like having a background in music is a really a big asset to being a cinematographer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, being a background in music.
Yeah, I think just having like an understanding of music and an ability, having played music or studied music,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of crossover to photography and camera work, just in the way things kind of build up or how the emotion behind shots. Like even on certain projects, if they have an idea of what the music might be that plays under a scene, I like to listen to it right before the take because it influences everything, you know?
Mm.
Yeah, music is so powerful in that way that I think
Sure.
it like really leans into cinematography a lot.
That's interesting. I work with a director, and even though we do like industrial videos, he will play music. Sometimes when he's picked a track that he wants for the piece,
Mm.
he'll play it on the speaker as we were
Yeah.
shooting,
Uh-huh.
and it's cool. Like we did,
Yeah.
like we did one project, and it was interesting. The project got shelved, but like the whole time, like the movement. That one actually was playing Interstellar the whole time,
Oh, really?
but it worked.
Yeah.
Like the scenes, because it was all camera movement. The camera was not stopping. Every shot was just about being on the move.
Mm.
But yes, there's a lot of influence to music and
Mm-hmm.
movement, especially, or even just understanding what the dance
Yeah.
is, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's a good point with the music to cinematography or film.
Yeah.
I always find architecture
Mm-hmm.
to that too,
Right. Yeah.
but that's on a framing aspect of
Right.
things,
Yeah. Totally like a design.
like a
Yeah.
design aspect. Like
Yeah.
a lot of good cinematographers have a background, or they were architects, or they had that background,
Mm-hmm.
or went to school for architecture, and then they just
Mm-hmm.
left that and they moved into this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's just seeing the lines, or because a lot of our stuff is framing, right? Like how
Mm-hmm.
do you position a subject in between this, and
Mm-hmm.
what is the proportion of the ratio of like where
Mm-hmm.
the subject falls in the frame,
Mm-hmm.
and where you want the eyes to look, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if, designing homes or buildings, it's
Mm-hmm.
about that, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's
Like
like
light and space.
light
Yeah.
and space, and
Yeah.
figuring out how that, or where the light should come from, because
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna cast something that is interesting, shadow that's
Mm-hmm.
interesting enough. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. So I have a friend who he hosts this like ambient music festival in
Okay.
Goldgate Park.
Uh-huh.
And I'd never even heard of what this was before. And I did some research on it. And it starts with this guy who like was at an airport, and it was this incredible architecture, but they were playing like, some sort of seasonal music that had like nothing to do. It just felt so out of balance with what he was saying.
Yeah.
So that he wrote music. I think it's called Music for Airports. And so it's music that's supposed to go with an environment.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, that's so cool," because that's like it's kind of how I've related music to film a lot. Is this, it can complement and augment feelings versus it being so like disharmonious, And anyways, that whole movement of music is like all about that.
Did you play any instruments?
I studied classical Indian music. Yeah.
What instrument? There was an instrument that you obsessed about.
It's called
when you
sarod.
played. Sarod.
Yeah.
There was an instrument that you had that you were playing for the longest, or you were learning how to play.
Yeah. Yeah. I still
Is it a banjo? Or what is it?
It resembles a banjo. It's fretless.
Okay. Okay.
You play with your fingernails sliding on what kind of looks like a banjo.
Okay.
Bit. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, but the classical Indian music has a structure very close to film, almost like acts. It kind of plays out
That's
like a
true.
screenplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like an introduction to the theme and characters, and then it builds, and a piece of music even lasts like an hour and a half, potentially. Could be like 40 minutes to a couple hours. So it's a lot like a film. Yeah.
So for anyone starting out,
Yeah,
listen to music, learn some
raga
music,
Yeah, play
and then
sarod.
you can get into this
Yeah,
world.
Right.
But Jason, I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'm glad we got to sit down and have this conversation and kind of relieve a little bit of our fun days.
Yeah, yeah.
I do miss that, but I know.
Yeah, I know. There's times where I miss it. I was like, oh, it's kind of fun. Just like all showed up with a bunch of, you bring your crap, I bring my crap, we'll make a movie. And we did that for years.
That was what it was.
Yeah.
It was like, and equipment was so expensive. It was a lighter load for all of us.
Yeah.
It was like we knew, okay, I need this. The fact that you drive to the city or the other person will cross over just to get one piece of gear just for the shoot.
Right. Yeah.
I think that was, but that was the journey, definitely I did enjoy that,
Mm-hmm.
Did appreciate that. But thank you all for watching. There was a lot of good information there. It was, if you're starting out or in the industry, check out Jason. It's jasonjoseffer.com. And what's your handle on Instagram?
Oh, it's at Jason Joseffer DP.
At Jason Joseffer DP. And we'll have all the links on the episode. Thank you for watching. Stay positive.